Robert, Manchester United are back in action against Leeds, and so am I. Manchester United against Leeds at Elland Road. It's a huge game for Manchester United. A very disappointing result on Tuesday against Wolves in a game that I was actually at Old Trafford. And listen, the result was not there at all. United didn't play well. They didn't deserve to win, and they didn't even deserve to get a result, if we're being honest. Now, this Leeds game, Amram talked about how it's a huge derby, great atmosphere, and it will be. It will be a great atmosphere, a great opportunity. Now, talking about team news going into the game, as we always look at, it's the same squad that was against Wolves, so no Mason Mount is expected to be included. Obviously, Mount, Mainu, Bruno, Mbermo, Ahmad, all those players that have been out in the last few games will be missing from Manchester United, which is disappointing. I think we have struggled without them in the team. Um, and Amram talked about how the squad is nowhere near good enough basically without those players in it. Now, going into the game against Leeds, I expect it to be a difficult game. I watched Leeds a few weeks ago against Liverpool. I watched them on Thursday against Liverpool, and they were all right. They like to adapt formations. In terms of their team news, I think Ethan Ampadu is suspended for this game because he picked up 5 yellow cards. So he'll be missing for them. And in terms of Leeds, again, they're a team who've adapted. They've had some good results. And again, it's a massive game, it's a rivalry for them, and at home their form has been pretty decent, to be fair. Now Daniel Farker had them playing some good football, and they do have some very good players. Now, if you look at it from a Manchester United side at Elland Road, we've had some good results there. I remember it was that Maguire goal that he scored, and it was Sancho and I think Fred who scored. So there have been some good moments there for Manchester United. Also there has been some difficult moments as well, but ultimately I think Leeds, we know how they're going to play in the Daniel Farker. They defended very, very well against Liverpool. And they did have chances in the game. Calvert-Lewin scored a goal that was offside. Ampadu had a shot which he should have scored. They had a few chances from set pieces. But I think they did very, very well to keep out Liverpool, who have been very, very good in the last few games. Now, again, Manchester United, I don't know where we start. That Wolves game, let's look at the last game that we played. Wolves at Old Trafford. And you look at the team that started there. I think I've got it here. Yeah, that was the team that started the last game against Wolves. 4-2-3-1. It wasn't that formation, it was a back five, which I don't understand why Amarim did that. It didn't make any sense to play a back five. There was no need to play a back five. United probably had their best game in a while against Newcastle, and I don't know why Amarim decided to change it to a back five. But again, he went for that decision and it backfired massively. It'd be interesting to see the formation that he goes with in this game. But again, United just didn't play well. There was a load of sideward passes, backward passes. And yes, there were chances for the game. Sesko should have had at least two. CUNHA could have had one. Dallo should have definitely scored. There were opportunities for players to score goals. But again, United on the day, we didn't deserve it. And Wolves played very, very well. Now Leeds, they're a team at the bottom of the league. But again, that doesn't mean anything. It's going to be difficult. It's a derby game. Now let's talk about my team going into the game. Now the team that I think Amarim should and would go for, it'd be Lamons in goal. Now I'm going to assume he's going to line up with a back five. I don't know what he's going to do, but going off the last game, I think the back three will probably remain the same. Shaw, Heaven, Martinez. Martinez looking like he can start some games. I was quite disappointed by his performance against Wolves. But again, I expect him to start this game. We need to see those line breaking passes, the passes over the top, because there are players making runs and he needs to kind of pick them out. Shaw will be there as well, and obviously Aiden Heaven, who I think had a decent game against Wolves, if I'm being honest. Wing backs now, I think you got to keep Dorgu on the right. I think the main, I know Dallo isn't great on the left, but I think you get more from Dorgu on the right than you do on the left. And if Dallo goes to the left, you do get a bit from him as well. So I think Dorgu on the right, Dallo on the left. Do I think that's going to happen? Probably not. But again, that would be my wing backs. Casemiro and Ugarte midfield. Again, there's not a great midfield. There's not really much quality in that midfield. Someone who can pick out a line breaking pass or someone who can play a ball over the top. But again, there's just a bit of legs in there coming from Ugarte, and obviously the quality of Casemiro. The two tens, Mount and CUNHA and Xerxes and Biseska through the middle. Now I was underwhelmed by Xerxes against Wolves. I don't know why he came off though, but I don't think he was great. He scored the goal obviously, but his overall performance wasn't great, and I think he has checked out of being at Manchester United. Now you look at sort of CUNHA, I want him to drop deep. I think this could be a big game for CUNHA, and we kind of do need him to step up in this game. You need to see his quality throughout, his tenacity and the pockets of space that he likes to operate in. We need to see CUNHA be in those spaces and cause problems. And obviously Sesko, he had a difficult game against Wolves. He should have scored. I mean, there's that one chance he created for himself early on in that first half, which was very, very good. He had that chance from a header. Like, there were moments there for Sesko, but again, I think this game you need Sesko to see if he can get some goals and try and do something to that Leeds defence. So that was my team of back five of Dorgu, Dallo, Heaven, Shaw, and Martinez. Casemiro, Ugarte, Cunha, Xerxes, and Sesko through the middle. Now again, he was asked, would you start a Jack Fletcher or a Mantanto who came on, or these sorts of players? He said it doesn't really matter about that occasion. He's just going to see if they're ready and if the opportunity is. I think, listen, Fletcher was getting a lot of stick, which I don't think was right. Because listen, he's a young player. You are going to be nervous coming out in that game, but you need the more senior players to step up. The Cunhas, the Shaws, the Dallos, Xerxes. These players who've been here for more than a few seasons now, so we need them to step up really. Now, in terms of Leeds, let's look at their team. So that was their team in the last game. And listen, they do play an adaptive system. They do play a 3-5-2, 3-4-3, 4-3-3. Like, they have changed their system of late, but that was their team in the last game. And they did make a few rotations for the game against United. Okafor and Calvert-Lewin, their main two strikers, didn't play the last game. Or they didn't start the last game. But again, we know the threats that they have. They're going to be up for the game, energetic, 12:30 on a Sunday. The one positive, which I would say, is they've had a lot less kind of layover Thursday night to Sunday afternoon. It's not a long turnover. You look at United, our last game was on Tuesday, so we've had a few more days to recover for this game, see what's happening in training really. But let's talk about predictions now. In terms of predictions for this game against Leeds, I'm going to back Manchester United to get the win. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. It's going to be tricky. I think Leeds will definitely score, especially at home. I expect United to get the job done in the game. Again, the team, can they step up? Can they get a result? I mean, Amorim, there were serious questions that needed to be asked of the performance on Tuesday night. But you're looking at Leeds, they're a team who, again, they're going to see Manchester United as an opportunity for them to get 3 points. They've done one against Liverpool. They've picked up some good results this season. They've changed the way they've played in a while. We see how Ruben Amorim lines up, and we see how that leads, if that leads to anything, and what that kind of means for United in the game. But ultimately, the 3 points are a must. But you need to see a good performance. You want to see more of Newcastle first half. You don't want to see what you've seen against Wolves, and you don't want to see what you've seen against Newcastle, particularly in that second half. But I'm going to go for a Manchester United 2-1 win. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on your thoughts for the game. And listen, it's a new year. Hopefully Manchester United can start off with the 3 points, which would be muchly appreciated. Come on, United. Thanks for watching.